and welcome back to the Hayden Show. We're going to the episode 5 of our Prehistoric Park adventure. I can't remember what. But yeah, let's see, today it's the insect episode called
The Bug House. Yeah.
Bugs.
It's probably the most inventive title so far.
Yeah.
It's not just saying, oh, the specific dinosaur species the one I get is the first. Yeah. It generally is the first, like, just the overall bug.
Yeah, I think it's because if they were to say the actual proper names for them, people are like, what the fuck is that?
So it's clearly like, oh yeah, we're just going to get some bugs now.
Yeah.
So we're going back to Scotland.
That's right.
So the furthest point in time they've been to so far. Because this is before dinosaurs had evolved.
Yeah.
This is when the insects ruled the world.
So I think visually there's some pretty stunning looks, like the dragonfly. The CGI is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's because insects are a bit easier than all the rest they have to do. So it's probably the best for CGI in terms of when he's back in time and dealing with the insects. So yeah.
Also some really great props as well, like the actual insects prop they had, the amphibian one.
Yeah, the one that bit him on the leg.
Yeah, that was really good. And I think the visual is quite stunning. There's some really nice shots, and the fact that as well, we get to see like how the area the climate that we're used to for certain areas are completely different ages ago. In Scotland, if you think it'd be all like cold and drizzly, but it's actually quite a warm, like, rainforest.
Yeah,
in a way.
And there's a storm and everything.
Quite amazing to see, and you learn a lot more out of all of this, but quite most educational because it's got different aspects to what we're used to with a dinosaur, like, show or film. It's quite interesting, and I'd say as well that even at the back at the park as well, get to see obviously the saber-tooth again.
You get to see them trying to get him to mate. You get to see obviously Terence
straight away. He gets
fucked over by Matilda, who's already broke out of her enclosure.
Yeah,
and it almost kills him. If it wasn't for obviously Bob darting her and Nigel freaking ramming his car into the through a car chase, Terence would be dead. And obviously you get to see some cool practical effects of the T-Rex's head. Obviously, as Suzanne's trying to fix him. Because he's basically on the verge of dying. Obviously, gets to stitch him up, send him back out, realise that he's infected now and he needs him back in. And just to obviously completely go back to work and fix the hell out of this T-Rex that's basically going to die if she doesn't. It's gone septic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's something a bit different. There's a lot more, I want to say, like, medical point of view in this one.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of medical stuff jargon before, but this is the one time it's like life and death. This is where the animal can die if it's not treated right away, which is basically, you get to see obviously the blood obviously on the side of it, or the marks that obviously Matilda's left on the side. It's like, it's actually pretty, as I say, it is very educational in both, obviously, nature-wise and medical-wise.
They say it's about like how when you reptiles, you
don't use stitches, you use staples. But we're going to use stitches here because of how something is.
Because you didn't want to have to, like, because you have to take staples out.
Yeah, that was it. She doesn't want to have to do that. So she used one with stitches instead. And
she explains how, like, you have to do the wound in a certain way.
Yeah.
Or else the scales and the skin would go inwards and cause more infection.
Yeah. This one definitely, especially that medical side of it, definitely felt like a proper nature park, like a animal park one you get to see. Where this is like, you get to see them like actually doing operations on the animals, like, this chimpanzee is on the verge of dying. It needs a heart transplant. Yeah. I don't know, I'm just making shit up here. And then you get to see it actually happen. And it's like, oh, look at him. He's walking around. He's so happy now. He's back to full health. You get to see it like that. So that is pretty cool to see.
It's like the Titanosaurs as well. Like, we learn, like, oh, they need, like, stones
to digest their food.
Digest food. And that's why they're always very, like,
breaking out and walking into certain areas of the park.
They're trying to find some rocks.
Like when you get to see, obviously, Bob build and his team. Well, I'll say Bob and his team. Just his team building.
Yeah,
like,
Bob go. Fucking alright, come on, guys. Come on, let's go.
Bob built and obviously making this bug house for, obviously, Nigel to bring back the insects. And obviously, the whole team has run off to the side as Bob's talking to the camera like, yeah, so we're building this. We've got to do this and that.
And
oh, what are you doing down here? Next, obviously, the Titanosaurus right behind him. And he's like, he's trying to feed leaves Then he obviously does the rock thing. Heck, he even uses them at the end to obviously drag the Jeep that's stuck in the mud still back through the portal, because obviously they use it as a tow truck. They tie a rope to the Titanosaur and have him pull the fucking vehicle for rocks, which is pretty cool to see. Obviously you get to see obviously the Ornithomomus babies obviously still thriving. I'm assuming Bob's ones are back in the enclosure because you don't get to know about them, so I take it they're back with the mom there.
Either they're back with the mom, or he like keeps them in like a nursery area, probably.
I assume they're back with the mom because it doesn't really. I'm assuming the
mom might reject her.
I was assuming they didn't mention if it was like he'd still had them. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm still doing this and that."
I think I will see him in the next episode.
If not, I'm just going to assume they're back with the mom.
Yeah, because I remember them saying like, "Cause she can't have, she'll lay loads of eggs, but she can't raise all of them." So that she will reject some of them. She rejects those two. So I think if they try to introduce the baby, they wouldn't follow the mom, and the mom itself wouldn't like see them as her own kids. She'd reject them.
I think if we don't see them next episode, then I definitely think it's just back with the mom.
Yeah,
I'd assume, because I mean that'd be like a big thing. It'd be interesting if you saw Bob's house and them running riot, but if not, then I was assume they're back in the enclosure. Obviously you get to the mammoth this time. You get to see obviously her with the herd still.
Yeah.
Triceratops still just no showing. That's gone. Triceratops is gone.
Next episode,
I think you do. And obviously the pterosaur, you don't really get to see the terror bird. You don't really get to see much about that either this time.
No, I remember correctly. We do see something
in the last one. I think for a certain when something breaks through something, you get to see it run around.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main focus here is the saber-tooths, the bugs, the T-Rex. And just a little bit on the Ornithomomus. Not a massive amount, because that was done last time. It's a little bit. It's mainly the T-Rex and the Sabertooth for the park side, and obviously the bugs for the back in time part. Yeah. Which is pretty cool, because obviously you get to see quite a few different species of bugs. Obviously, so you get the big, obviously, like a centipede type creature. So you get to see the underwater, all these little tiny stubby legs. You get to see the dragonfly, the scorpion, which actually stings Nigel.
Yeah.
And he's like really worried that it's going to basically kill him.
And that's why he dies next episode.
Obviously, it doesn't kill him, but obviously he's worried that it's gonna, because he's got stung by it.
Yeah,
he's been after. That's the one he's been after the entire time, because he obviously tries to get it. Obviously, early on when it's night time, he's crawling on his mate's chest, but he gets pinched by the fucking the claws.
Yeah.
Then he gets it later on, and obviously then the fire happens, sets fire to the whole fucking rainforest. Obviously, the insect's going to die, so he has to take them all back, and he managed to get 3 species. I think he managed to get in it.
Dragonfly,
the centipede, and also the scorpion. Yeah, the only one he doesn't get is the fish one, because he turns around and says,
"Awkward to get it."
Yeah, I haven't got anything to really take it back with.
Because obviously, it being an amphibian,
it needs water.
It prefers water, and it's harder to travel just on land.
But I mean, that was pretty cool seeing the practical one of that. Like none of that is CGI, apart from maybe when it's the underwater shots.
When it flies off, when you see it swims off.
Flies up. Yeah, that's the only time you get to see like CGI, but it's obviously murky, so it's fine. But when it's practical, it's so fucking really well done. I was like, wow. Like, again, practical side of this show is just phenomenal. Like for the budget that they had, they did a really good job. Really good job. Trying to think what else. We mainly covered most of what happens in this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, the saber-tooth, they're trying to get him to mate. That's slowly reacting. The next episode is going to deal with that a lot more. Obviously, this one's more about just introducing them together. Obviously, showing that the female at the start is not interested in like hitting, like walking along the side of the cage, like hey, and she's like, meh.
Fuck off.
And then obviously they introduce them together, and it's more like, and she actually goes to him.
Yeah.
So the next one's going to be more focused on seeing if they will, mate. To see if they can get an actual cub so they can breed, saber-tooths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think that mainly
yeah.
goes. No, what else we haven't really heard much about? Did it? It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think that covers most too.
Okay.
Any ratings for this one?
I'd say for this one, even though visually it's pretty good, I'd say it wasn't the most memorable one.
Yeah, it doesn't draw you in as heavy as other ones.
I think like out of all of them, I completely forgot there was even insects. Like I would remember the terror bird. The next one we're going to see is the most iconic of them all. The one that I remember the most. But I remember the T-Rex. I remember like the Titanosaurs. I remember all that stuff. But like I think that one this one specifically, I don't remember anything about it. So that would bring it down a lot. It's like it's not as memorable, but it's still good. It's just I never really like stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
I'd give it probably at least like 70.
70.
Yeah.
It's the lowest you've gone so far.
I know. It's still good.
It's the first time you've not been in the,
like
80 plus. First time.
I'd say it's probably the most average.
Yeah.
The park side's the good part. It's just the actual dinosaur. The insects look good. It's just not as action packed. I'd say
it's not as drawn in as the other ones.
Yeah.
There's always something going on with the other ones that drew you in. Like the first one, obviously, is the first episode, so it's going to draw you in. Second one, obviously, the hunter's trying to hunt the mammoth.
Yeah.
The rhino turning up and fucking over everything. The third one, obviously, the dinosaurs hunting the team.
More emotional
the sadness side of it. Whereas this one, there's just apart from the fire at the end, it's not really.
It's insects and some of the faces he pulls when he tries to save them. It's a bit like
he's trying to jump.
I think his side kind of throws it off a little bit, like the
overacted.
Yeah, a little bit overreacted. Like if he comes up, whoa!
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's still fun. I still watch it again. It's just more of like I probably won't remember much of it.
Okay, it's very simple. Then it's slot straight into last position. Doesn't knock anything down. Slot straight into fifth. Obviously, next time is obviously probably one that we remember a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dinosaurs.
Yes.
Episode where he goes back to try and get the prehistoric crocodile, and obviously we get to see some more action in the park.
Oh my god!
It's probably the most action within the park.
So the most action in the park, and you also see probably the most action. I probably see like overall in the actual hunting them as well, because like I remember correctly. You see quite a lot of different dinosaurs and different creatures.
You get to see quite a few. You get to see a lot of them from the actual first shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question here is, what's your favourite insect?
Oh. That's a hard one, because I'd say dragonflies. They look very alien and mysterious, and visually are quite beautiful looking. So I'd say dragonflies.
Ooh. Maybe a scorpion.
Not an insect, but
well, insect bug.
Bugs, basically.
Bug specifically, so you can.
Yeah.
I was trying to do it for the episode. Yeah, bug specifically. The scorpion probably.
Okay, that's fun.
One of the cooler ones.
Yeah, one's cooler.
Bugs aren't very.
One or the big pincer ones.
Doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
Bugs aren't really cool, in my opinion. I'll splat them.
Yeah, look, spiders are cool.
Fuck off.
You don't agree with them, but
fuck off.
I like spiders, but I prefer dragonflies. Dragonflies, they are beautiful. And as you see in this one, pop's beautiful. And yeah,
yeah. So, what's your favourite bug specifically? So you can have these other arachnids and stuff as well in there.
It sounds like dragonflies.
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you for the last episode of this series.
Yeah.
So, till next time.
Hey, bye.
If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.